So art is a form of expression. Art is a beautiful way of revealing the world inside a person. So today we are celebrating one such artist who converts and transforms the geometrical shapes into one such beautiful art piece of mandalas. These are breathtaking mandalas. So through her arts, she teaches us patience, balance, and joy of creation. Let's meet the brilliant mind with the creativity, the highest creativity, and understand the magical circles through her. Hello everyone. Welcome to Krishna Talks. So today I'm going to talk to a special artist from our school, very much indulged in art called to be mandala art. Let's talk to her, dive into her journey of artisans and understand what is the form of expression through her viewpoint. Her name is Anaya Mansoori from 8th grade, RIS student, great artist. Let's talk to her. Hello Anaya, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Anaya Mansoori. I'm from Rahul International School, Meera Road, 8th Standard, Cambridge.
Nice meeting you, Anaya. I saw your art pieces, which was actually speaking a lot. So can you tell me about what made you and what inspired you to get into this kind of artistry?
I discovered mandala art out of curiosity. Like, I was searching it up online and I saw these beautiful, intricate designs and I really wanted to try it. So when I gave it a try, and then the emotions that I felt, the calmness, the peace that I felt, that made me go ahead in this art. It has so much more to explore in it. Like, the shapes also, they speak so much. For example, when you make triangles, they mostly speak about energy. When you make a circle, it speaks about wholeness. And a square, it also speaks about your energy and stability. And the main thing that kept me so inspired was how the colors fit inside the mandala art. For example, if you take colors from opposite of the wheel, example red and green, even if you take these two colors, they fit so perfectly together and it is just so calming and good to see. And that is something that kept me inspired to make more of these masterpieces.
So, like, what attracted you to the most? Like the colors or the art design or kind of the form, the geometry, or what exactly was that?
The main thing that kept me so much indulged was the colors, and that so much can be spoken by these arts. Like the emotions that are spoken, like the spirituality, calming, peace, all of these emotions can be just spoken by colors. For example, red is something that symbolizes power, passion. Yellow is something that symbolizes brightness, hope. So even in looking at this art, it just speaks so much to us without even a single word. So the colors and the emotions that I felt, that is something that is very important to me and that kept me hooked in this art.
Okay. But did you explore other forms of arts? Like, can you explain the other form of arts or just mandala you can talk about?
Mostly I really liked about this art, so I have a lot of research on mandala itself, but I have experienced more arts, but I don't know much about them. For example, Gond art, Warli art, I have done that and it is good. But the amount I felt peace, calmness and experience from mandala, that's why I have much more research on it than other arts.
So every child in our school is an artist, you know. We have seen that everybody is doing some or the other kind of painting, drawing. So how do you find yourself different from them?
I would say that I feel mandala art is something that it's like a diary for me. Whatever I am feeling today is something I can express on the paper. So that is something I feel makes me different, that because whatever it's in my mind, it's on the paper.
Okay, what kind of things do you feel? What are the emotions flowing through you when you are drawing something on the paper?
The emotions that I feel is mostly calm, peace. In like when I'm, studying, it's all a hectic schedule for us also, all students. That our studies are there, there's homework, there's extracurricular activities. So in all of this stress, mandala is something that gives me peace. And the main emotion that I feel is the silence. Like mostly making mandala art, you sit at a very silent corner. And in that silence, the only thing that you can hear is your own thoughts.
Yeah, but it's actually general for every art, I suppose. So people are all sitting in silence and doing some or the other kind of art forms. Again, my question comes again back to the same circle. What drives you to the mandala? Is it the circle, the geometry, or the designs inside it, which happens to go deep, and many things evolves through a center, or what is that? To me, that center design is very important, where my eyes get just in touch with it and my eyes goes in circle with those circles. So what?
So yeah, the design is something that is very interesting because you can see there is design in even small boxes. That is also something that inspired me a lot. But main thing is what actually speaks behind those. That is something that make me, want to do this more. For example, there is this Buddhist ancient practice done by monks that they used to make beautiful, enormous mandalas out of colored sand. And once they used to finish it, they used to sweep it all up. This idea is so spiritual and it's telling us, it's showing us calmness, acceptance, and the idea of that nothing in life is permanent. You have to feel the peace in the process, not in the result. And that is something that kept me hooked, that it's not about perfection, it's about the presence.
So would you like any day to, just disrupt your drawings? Like if at all you're drawing your mandala, would you accept that somebody is distracting it or destroying it?
No, not at all.
So how do you accept the monks, just swiping away their art piece?
Yeah, no ma'am. Here, what they're doing is they're swiping it and making it again. They're swiping it and making it again. It's like, they're telling, they feel that peace in the process, not in the result. After they see the mandala, that's not peace for them. The process that takes behind it, each grain by grain, putting it and making those designs, that is peace. So in that, monks, they used to make it again and again. But now if I make one piece and somebody destroys it, of course it gets like, I made so much hard work on it and how can you destroy it? So they used to make it again and again. That was like something peace for them. So for me, that is acceptable. But destroying is not acceptable.
It's not acceptable, yeah. So like what kind of spirituality have you learned through your practice of drawing mandala?
I told you about the most spirituality I've learned from is that sometimes you have to let go things. That, once it is swept, it's okay. You can make it again. That is something that I learned and even helped me. That it's okay. If once it is not done, I'll make it again. If that time also is not done, I can make it again. That is something, spiritually I learned. That, sometimes you have to let go. And you don't have to look at the perfection of it. You have to look at what you felt while making it. That is something, I learned spiritually from it.
So would you advise other students also to get into mandala art, or you only want to be you the best in the class for mandala?
No, not like that. I wouldn't be very selfish. I would suggest other students also to take it, other academic scholars, because if I am also facing that academic stress, there are so many other students that be facing it. And mandala is a stress reliever also and a place to express themselves also. And no student has to be a great artist to make mandala arts. You just can make it using just circles or just squares also you can make mandala art. And it is such a stress reliever before exams that, when you have that pressure on writing things, you have to learn everything. And then that if you take few minutes to make a mandala art, it will relax your mind. You'll get more positive and productive. So that can be a better result expected.
You get more focused,
Yeah, you get that passion and motivation from it. That, there is this peace that you feel inside it. So of course, I am doing this and I'm really proud of myself in that. But I would want other students, other of my friends also to try it so that they can also feel what I'm feeling today.
So where all, like in interior designing, this kind of do you have this understanding about this mandala art is used in many places like interior designing nowadays, which is coming up as a very great paintings on the walls, and then there are some other forms. Can you have idea? Can you discuss to me something like where all can we use mandala art? In what all pieces?
Mandala art can be used everywhere, ma'am. For example, there is a village in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh where they make these mandala arts on their walls, on their floors. So it's a part of your designing also of your house. Like in architecture, I don't know much about it, but I've seen it at a lot of places that they use this kinds of design to create architecture on their houses in this modern times. But it is something that's related way back. People used to do it in their houses to make it more colorful. And it's also something that's spiritual because they used to make these structure in the form of goddesses. So to let the god enter into your house, to feel that, spirituality in their house. So architecture, I have seen it, I don't know much, but I do know that it is coming from something olden times. These forms are used everywhere, on paper, on walls, on floor, anywhere you can do mandala art.
So do you do you want to take it as a passion or a hobby or a career? This kind of.
I am not sure about a career path in mandala, but I'm definitely sure that I'm going to take a piece of mandala in me in future as a passion or as a hobby, because mandala is something that makes you sit and think about yourself, what's happening with you. What are your thoughts on it? So if I want to grow and if I want to become successful, then I definitely have to know what is inside me. What am I thinking? So maybe I will not use it as a career path, but I can definitely make some pieces. I can teach people about it, or just sketching for peace.
You can spread the awareness
Just about it. Yeah. It's something that a lot of people can use. It has no age barriers. From like teenagers, students, and even adults. And there are so many people that elderly age people also do this to find their peace of calm. So it is for everyone. So if I can, in future, I would like to tell people about it. That there is so much more for you to explore.
It's a kind of meditation, right?
Yes, sure. Because you see everything happening now, it always feels very calming and relaxed. In nowadays, people used to really go to internets and those sources for managing their stress. But they can just go to this so olden thing of mandala, which can also help them manage their
The real thing, the real.
When I did it, all of my screen time went very low because most of my time was inside mandala. And in that, it also affected my studies also. I could feel more focused and more concentrated. So that it really helped me in my studies also.
And how long does it take to complete one art piece when you are taking in hand?
So if like I have the entire day in my hand, then I tend to complete it in a day only because it has lots of tiny details. And it's like, if you even miss one detail, it does not look good at the end. Because you're an artist, you know that I have missed this detail. Maybe the other person that looks at the art won't notify it. But I would notify it and then it would be like incomplete for me. So it takes a lot of time. If you want to do it with peace, with that perfection to see it, then yeah, it takes a day. But then if I have my work coming in between studies and all, then I can usually do it in 2 and 3 days.
So let's talk about entrepreneurship now. Okay, you have been learning now, no? Like growing as an entrepreneur, young entrepreneur. So, like, how can you take this mandala art as an entrepreneurship? Kind of a
Yeah, there is first thing that either I make these art and then sell it out, because in this world there is lot of people that understand art and really feel connected towards it. So if I want, there is so much platform for me. Even the school has platforms for me to display my art and make it as a business something. And then the other fact is I could use this art to actually tell people. There are so many people that want to know about this art. So I can be a person that has already experienced this art and has so much to say. So that can be a way of business. I can have a lot of people coming and I can tell them what it is all about. So this also has a lot of thing in entrepreneurship. I can be an artist that sells all of this art. And people really want to know this art. They want to keep it at their house. They want to adore it. So it can be a great business idea.
like, do you want to keep values? Like, I don't know about it, but it's your hardships, what you have put in your concentration, focus, your energy, completely onto your art piece. So, like, what could be the limited cost kind of a thing? What would you like to ask for about your art piece?
Art pieces that
Artisans can quote anything, like it's their thought and it's their imagination. So, it sometimes becomes priceless for me.
size of the pieces or the amount of time I have put inside it, but I have never thought about what exact amount I might keep in it. So, but it is mostly about, how beautiful it is, how big it is, and how much time it is taking me. So, if whatever price I put, if the other customer is actually fond of that art, then I think they would buy it.
Yeah, it's just art and it has its own expression. So, like, there's one last question. Do your parents accept your art piece when you're doing and investing so much of time in drawing and painting? Do they accept that?
They do accept it because it comes out with good results. But then my mother does say that, it should be hand in hand. You should go with your studies also and with your extracurriculum activities. And then there is so much stuff to get. So that gets a little this thing that, you already have so much art stuff. You don't need more. But then you can never get more of those art stuff. But then my parents are very supportive. They help me. They tell me that, it's good. You're doing great in it. You can have so much more in this. Yeah. But the only concern of my mom is that it should go hand in hand with your studies. Your studies should not be affected by it. And then my dad is like, whatever you want to do. If you feel all of that things coming from mandala art, then you can definitely do.
So do you like to gift your mandala art, or do you like to display and exhibit your art piece? What exactly is your interest with your art? Because when you're collecting so much of drawing and paintings in your home, so you do something or the other with them.
Yeah, I tend to, show it to people. Like, see or tell them what it means. Like, what all I have done in making of that art. Because I like people knowing more about my art. There's so much more I can do. So I really like showing it to other people. That, this is what I've made. This is the amount of time that it took. And as the people I've showed are really interested into these art. So I feel very motivated also by them when they look at the art and they appreciate me that it is so nice. So yeah, I feel that motivation. So I like to show it to people that, this is so much more, this art.
So Anaya, when did you start this mandala art, drawing and putting on your papers?
I started doing this from 5th grade. So I've been doing it from 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. 4 years along, because, I came across this around when my Diwali vacations were happening in 5th standard. So I came across this internet of people doing all of this mandala, and then I became very hooked and I wanted to try it. So it's very beautiful. I could also do it. And then I tried it, and then it was so interesting that it kept me hooked till today, till all 4 years.
Almost 4 years, okay. And any free time you get, to just grab the time for this, I suppose, mandala.
Yeah, I am also a person who likes reading. So it gets mixed between both of them. So if I have a free time, then yeah, definitely. And you don't need much supplies. You just need a paper and a pen also to make mandala art. Because colors and all are different, it comes afterwards. But first is the drawing of it. So any piece of paper, any pen, and then I can do mandala.
So even your book covers you have made on mandala.
Yeah, I have tried on doing on those.
Great, going good. So thank you, Anaya, for all your wisdom thoughts and your interest in mandala art. And you are so mesmerizing. Actually, when you're talking, you're just taking me with you, and I'm just imagining that mandala art when you're talking about it. So great, and it was a great time talking to you on Krishna Talks. Thank you so much for the day, and wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors and your mandala art pieces.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me here to be on your medium to share about my experiences to so many people. Because, a lot of people look at Krishna Talks and see all of these things. So I could share my experience to so many people that I don't think I would personally reach out to. And thank you so much for your time. You've showed so much interest in, trying to get to know about this art. And I feel very happy that I could, share my experience with someone like you. And it's just too great to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.